Why do so few men after 60 have a back that is truly thick and dense, a back that looks strong even when they're just standing still? I'm not talking about being in good shape for your age. I'm talking about the kind of back you notice from across the room. Settled shoulders, firm shoulder blades, muscles that look like armor. And there's a curious detail. When you observe closely, a pattern appears. Most men reach their 60s with their pulling strength slowly fading, as if someone were turning the volume down on their body. And almost no one notices, until the day they feel it. I spent time analyzing training logs, personal reports, progression patterns, and what actually happens to body mechanics as we age. And what stands out is simple and uncomfortable. The vast majority of men over 60 can't do a single strict pull-up with clean technique. Not one. So they choose the easier path: lat pull-downs, some rows here and there, cables, a bit of "it burns, so it must be working." And that's it. The problem is that almost never builds a truly thick back. There is a small group that ages differently. A group that, even at 60, 65, 70, still carries an athletic structure. Not because of magical genetics, not because of luck, not because of superhuman testosterone. They master a system, a method for rebuilding pulling strength from zero without rushing and without ego. While others repeat comfortable exercises, they become specialists in the one thing most men avoid: lifting their own body with control. And here's the first truth many don't want to hear. When it comes to a powerful back, nothing replaces the pull-up pattern. Not because it's old school or looks impressive on video, it's because the entire body is involved. Pull-ups demand stabilization, alignment, control, and force production all at once. Machines, on the other hand, give you a fixed track and remove the responsibility of keeping your body honest. When you pull your body upward, it's not just your lats working. You force your rhomboids, traps, rear delts, deep scapular muscles, forearms, grip, and even your core to engage. It's a complete vertical pulling movement, and that complete aspect is exactly what creates the density that makes a back look like a solid block instead of a flat surface. Machines are comfortable. You sit down, adjust the pin, pull, and release. Easy to repeat. Easy to fool yourself. You think you're training your back, but often you're just bending your elbows and feeling a stretch. Yes, there's a sensation. But sensation isn't construction. If your foundation stays weak, if your scapula never learns to move properly, if you never train your body to support its own weight, your progress has a ceiling. And that ceiling comes faster after 60. Maybe you're thinking, fine, but I can't do pull-ups. So what? I just give up? No, this is where the system begins. Because the pull-up isn't just an exercise, it's a destination. You don't start there. You earn it, and earning it after 60 changes the game. Not just aesthetically, but functionally. Pulling strength protects the shoulders, improves posture, reinforces the spine, and most importantly, gives you back a sense of control over your body. Now, there's another distinction most people miss: the difference between a wide back and a thick back. Many people train their back as if it's only about spreading the wings. They chase width, width, width. Endless pull-downs, hoping for a V-shape. Others go the opposite direction. Only traps, only heavy rows without awareness, hoping for thickness. The reality is this: a powerful back requires both width and thickness. One without the other looks incomplete, almost hollow. Width comes mainly from the lats, those large muscles along the sides of the back. They create the illusion of broader shoulders and a narrower waist. Thickness, the kind that makes a shirt sit differently, comes from the middle of the back. Rhomboids, multiple portions of the traps, rear delts, and the muscles that anchor and control the scapula. That central mass is what gives depth and solidity. Think of the letter T. The horizontal line is width. The vertical line is thickness. If you only train width, you end up with a shape that has no substance. If you only train thickness without range and control, you get bulk without structure, and posture often suffers. The key is training in a way that intelligently develops both at the same time. Here's a common mistake. As men pass 60 and start feeling stiffer, they choose exercises that feel too safe. Short ranges of motion, minimal amplitude, mechanical repetition, always the same pattern. That keeps you busy, but it doesn't transform you. The body needs to relearn movement patterns, range, and control. And this becomes especially important in the phase almost everyone neglects, the lowering phase. The descent is where most progress is lost. People focus only on pulling up, on making the rep happen, and forget that the strength that protects joints, improves muscle quality, and builds real control is developed on the way down. With pull-ups, the controlled descent is the true starting point. It's the step almost no one respects. Instead of forcing full pull-ups right away, you start with negatives. You get to the top using assistance, a box, a step, or a small jump, so your chin is above the bar. And then you lower yourself slowly, very slowly, as if time itself were pushing against you. Aim for about 5 seconds on the way down. No dropping, no relaxing, just you negotiating with gravity. That slow descent is where the body wakes up. You recruit fibers that never show up in rushed reps. You teach the scapula to hold position. You strengthen tendons and connective tissues that protect the shoulders. And best of all, you reduce injury risk by building control before demanding power. Most people skip this and pay the price. They swing, jerk, use momentum, feel their shoulders complain, and conclude, pull-ups aren't for me. It's not that pull-ups aren't for you. It's that you skip the chapter that prepares your body for them. Once you can lower yourself consistently, you build the bridge from almost to I can. That bridge is simple. Band-assisted pull-ups. The band isn't a crutch. It's a staircase. It reduces the amount of weight you have to pull, while allowing you to practice the full movement, starting at the bottom, pulling to the top, lowering under control. You train the real pattern without destroying your joints or getting stuck for months. The key is progressing like a patient adult, not an impatient teenager. Start with a band that genuinely helps. No ego. Perform clean reps. Focus on control, not volume. As you get stronger, move to thinner bands. Gradually, your body learns to handle more of its own weight. When done right, this process makes you feel like your body is becoming yours again. A smart frequency here is twice per week, with intention, not punishment. There's another trap, believing that more always equals better. After 60, the game is efficiency. The body responds extremely well to strong stimuli paired with proper recovery. Training pulling movements every day may feel productive, but it often overloads some areas while neglecting others. Training isn't about collecting effort. It's about strategy. The first clear goal is simple and powerful. 5 strict pull-ups. 5. Not 50. Not fancy variations. 5 clean reps. No kicking, no swinging, no cheating. Why? Because those 5 represent a level of strength and coordination that unlocks everything else. Until you reach that point, many variations are just distractions. Partial reps and sloppy movements don't unlock your back's potential. They just turn the wrong key in the lock. 5 strict pull-ups force proper posture, organized shoulders, and full engagement of the middle back. That's where density begins. That's when your back stops being a place that gets tired and becomes a structure that supports your body. Once you own 5, you stabilize it. You make it your standard. And when you reach 10 strict reps consistently, the next step separates average men from those who age with presence: adding weight. This is where many stop. They hit 8, 9, 10 reps and think, that's enough. But the body adapts. If the stimulus stops increasing, results stall. And this isn't just about looks. It's about real strength and long-term muscle retention. Adding weight to pull-ups doesn't have to be extreme. A weighted vest, a belt with plates, or even a properly secured backpack can work at first. What matters is keeping the same standard. Full range, clean reps, controlled descent. Extra load tells the body, you still need to grow. You still need to adapt. After 60, that message is priceless because the body naturally wants to conserve and downsize what isn't demanded. Here's a game-changing detail. 2 well-executed pull-up sessions per week can outperform daily rowing. Rows are excellent. Pull-downs have their place. But pull-ups, by nature, demand more from the entire system: stabilizers, core, scapula, grip. That total demand is what builds a back that looks alive. Row every day without scapular awareness, and you may feel exhausted with little progress. Train pull-ups twice per week with proper progression. Negatives, smart assistance, strict reps, and you give the body a stimulus it respects. And when the body respects the stimulus, it changes. This doesn't mean rows are useless. Far from it. Rows are essential for thickness. They build the middle of the back. The strategy is simple: pull-ups as the axis, rows as reinforcement. Pull-ups organize the system and amplify global activation. Rows add density, refine posture, and strengthen the center with volume. Combined with purpose, they don't just make you grow, they make you solid. There's a deeper layer here, especially after 60. This isn't about competing with anyone. It's about reclaiming something that ages without asking permission. Independence. Pulling strength helps you get up from the floor safely, carry loads without collapsing posture, protect your shoulders, and support your body in unexpected situations. It's strength that translates directly to real life. Most men age by accepting small losses as normal. Pain is normal. Weakness is normal. Muscle loss is normal. Normal doesn't mean inevitable. What is inevitable is paying the price for what you don't train. What you train consistently becomes part of who you are. The men who age strong aren't driven by endless motivation. They rely on systems, patience, and intelligent execution. They start small. They build control. They master fundamentals. They add load when they earn it. They don't confuse frequency with results. They respect the body, but they refuse to negotiate with decline. If you're 60, 65, 70, or beyond, this isn't a sentence. It can be an advantage. You've already seen what rushing does. You've seen what ego costs. You understand that consistency beats excitement. When you apply that mindset to a simple pull-up progression system, you create something rare: a mature body with structure. So start the right way. If you can't do one today, start with negatives. Train the descent as if it were the main lesson, because it is. Use bands to practice the full path. Repeat perfect patterns. Aim for 5 strict reps as your first milestone. Then aim for 10. When 10 are solid, add weight like a man who decided not to fade with time. Along the way, support this with well-executed rows, full range, active scapula, conscious movement. Don't train just to feel something. Train to build something. Feeling is a bonus. Building is the goal. At first, it may feel slow, and that's exactly where most people quit. Ironically, the path that feels slow is the only one that truly accelerates long-term results, because you're not just chasing reps. You're rebuilding a capacity time tried to take away. There's a quiet reward in this process. As your back thickens, your posture changes. As posture improves, breathing improves. As breathing improves, training improves. As training improves, life gains energy. It's not magic. It's physiology applied correctly. Remember this: age doesn't stop you. Comfort does. Training only in the comfort zone while expecting disciplined results never works. You don't need to destroy yourself. You need consistency, strategy, and the willingness to demand something from your body. Keep this rule: quality beats quantity. One perfect pull-up is worth more than 3 sloppy ones. One controlled descent beats a half rep with momentum. 2 focused sessions per week beats 7 rushed workouts that only build fatigue. In the end, this is what defines the back of a man who ages with strength. He doesn't look for shortcuts. He rebuilds the foundation. He becomes part of that rare group that still carries physical presence when they walk into a room, not to impress, but because they chose not to abandon their body. So the question is simple: are you willing to start small and never negotiate with consistency? Because that's the difference between "I tried" and "I did it." And at this stage of life, doing it isn't vanity. It's freedom.